Live going. It's loading now. Hope everyone's having a good day. We're gonna do some pretty chill yoga today. And it helps if you have a yoga block. Oh, okay, we're good on Facebook, I think. So it helps if you have a yoga mat. I have mine set up back here. If you don't, that's fine. Just try and find somewhere where you're not going to slip around. Okay, so if you have hardwood floors, take your socks off. And if you don't have something cushiony for your knee, maybe grab a small pillow because we are going to spend some time lunging and kneeling on our knee. And it does help if you have a yoga block. I have one here because I will be giving you options of like, you know, if you can't quite reach the ground, you can grab a block. A pretty thick book works as well. Just take a second and grab that stuff if you need it. For those of you who I don't know, my name is Chey. I coach at Rito. I think I probably know most of you, so super happy to be doing yoga with you guys today. I'm not a professional yoga teacher or anything like that, but I do practice pretty regularly. It's something that I started doing when I retired from paddling. And now, like with, you know, being stuck at home, I've been doing it quite a bit more. So really happy to share this practice with you guys. We're going to start today in child's pose. So your option, you can either have your knees together or knees as wide as your mat. And then settle down and hands out in front of you, forehead to the mat. And just start to relax a bit. Let your belly like sink down either onto your thighs or in between your thighs. Let me know if there's any issues with the sound or anything. And just start to arrive on your mat, like mentally tune out some of your distractions, other stuff that's going on in your house maybe. And just commit to whatever this practice brings to you. Just commit to it for the 45 minutes or so that we'll be doing yoga. One of the nice things about yoga is that it's really just whatever you want to get out of it. So it's not programmed, you know, to be strength or to be cardio. It's just you take what you need and then you leave the rest. So in your child's pose, just walk your fingertips over towards the left, feeling a stretch through your right side body. Head can stay down. You can stay pretty relaxed. And just try and spin your right armpit down closer to the ground. Keep your hips sinking back towards your feet. Nice, slow, deep breaths. Trying to breathe through your low belly. And walk your hands back to center. One breath here. And then walk your hands over to the right, stretching out your left side. Again, trying to spin your left armpit down, like you're trying to hide your armpit. You can get a deeper stretch there. And then come back to center. Pull yourself forwards into a table. So hips on top of your knees, shoulders on top of your wrists, fingers spread nice and wide. And we're gonna move through some cat-cows. So start by dropping your belly, lift your hips, lift your chin, pull yourself forwards. That's cow. And then arch your back, nice and slow. Separate your shoulder blades, tuck your tailbone, tuck your chin, look at your belly button. Cat in reverse, moving back through cow. Trying to move through the whole length of your spine, tailbone to neck, and then cat. You can move at your own pace. We'll do a few more. Inhaling on your cow. And then exhaling on your cat. One more of each. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. And then come to neutral spine. Keeping your hips on top of your knees. Lift your left hand up into a twist. Try and make this twist from your shoulder. And then you're gonna reach your hand through underneath your right armpit and try and get your shoulder to the ground, maybe side of your head or ear to the ground. Hips stay high. Try not to move your knees. And then reach up again. Big twist and reach through. And reach up. And reach through. We're going to stay here for a little bit longer. You can press into your right hand to help yourself twist a little further. Nice and strong through your left fingers. So we're stretching, but it's pretty active. And then come on back to table. And we'll do the other side. So on your inhale, reach up with your right hand, again, from your spine. Keep your knees where they are. And then feed your hand through, reaching over to the left, ear to the ground, shoulder to the ground. And reach up. And reach through. And reach up, last one. And reach through. We're going to stay here for a couple breaths. Again, you can press into your left hand if you want to feel a bit more of a twist. Looking for a stretch in between your shoulder blades, especially on that right side of the hand that's reaching. And then come on back up to table. Reset your hands. And then neutral spine, but just like in your tailbone, do a little bit of cat spine. Okay, so draw your belly button in and drop your tailbone a bit. And then you're gonna hug your left knee in towards your chest as close as you can. Send it out to the side, and then keep drawing a big circle around with your left knee. And we're gonna keep drawing circles, but just try and keep that belly button going into spine. And your hips are staying nice and level. So this movement isn't coming from arching your back. It's coming from your hip joint. Keep drawing those big circles. Press evenly into all 10 fingers. Take some of the load out of your wrists. And we'll switch directions. Same leg, switch directions. So as big circles as you can with your knee. Like your dog peeing on a fire hydrant. One more. You can land that knee. We'll do the other side. So start by resetting your spine. Tuck your tailbone a little bit. And then right knee comes to your chest. And then out to the side. And then big circle all the way around. It doesn't really matter what your foot is doing. It just matters what your knee is doing for your circle. And then what your hips are doing. Try and press evenly into your both hands. So you're not leaning over to the left. Your shoulders are square. And switch directions. One more. And land your knee. Okay, pressing into your hands. Curl your toes under. And then just start to lift your knees. Hover them off the ground. And then slowly you're going to push back and you're going to lift your hips into your first downward dog. So think more pushing back than lifting to start. You can keep a generous bend in your knees. Maybe think belly to thighs. And then start to pedal your legs out a bit. maybe starting to straighten one at a time. But again, you can keep them pretty bent. Find some stillness. One breath here. Inhale. Exhale. And then slowly start to walk your hands back towards your feet, coming into a forward fold at the back of your space or back of your mat. Feet can be shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit less. Relax through your neck. Try not to look up at your mat. Look down, maybe at your knees or your belly button. You can clasp opposite elbows. Sway gently from side to side. Again, maybe straightening one leg then the other. You can bend your knees as much as you need to. And then release your elbows if you're holding them. Inhale, come halfway up, so flat back. Hands can come to knees or shins. And then exhale, forward fold. And then inhale, press into all four corners of your feet. Stand up. Hands come up, reach up, look up, and then exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up, look up, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway, exhale, forward fold. And then you're gonna stand into your left foot. Take your right foot and cross it in behind your left one. Okay, so the outside edges of your feet are pressing together, pinky toe sides pressed together, and you're still in your forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. If this is a big stretch, you can stay here. Otherwise, start to walk your fingertips or just swing your torso. Maybe this is where you use your block to bring the floor closer, over towards the left. Okay, looking for a deep stretch in your right side, from your ankle to your hip and from your hip to your shoulder. Bend into that left leg as much as you need to. That's the one in front. If you can, try and keep your right leg straight. If the floor is far away and you don't have a block, feel free to you can just hang like that, or you can grab onto your legs to help you twist. But just pressing into your feet firmly for some balance here. One more breath. Walk those right fingertips as far away as you can. And then come back to center. So forward fold, but your feet are still crossed. Keeping your feet where they are. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Hands come up. Look up, and at the top, arms reaching up to the sky. You're gonna grab your right wrist in your left hand and just side body stretch over to the left, stretching out your right side. Come back up to center. Exhale, forward fold. Switch your feet, so come to feet shoulder width apart. And then step your left foot behind your right foot. So we're legs crossed, but the other way. Left foot is behind. Pinky toe sides of the feet pressing together. Inhale, lift up halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold. And again, walk your fingers or swing your torso gently over towards the right, looking for a stretch in the left side. You can go ahead and bend into your right leg as much as you need to, but intending to keep your left leg as straight as possible. Maybe it's not quite there, but that's totally fine. Stretching the outside of your left leg. One more breath here. And exhale. Bring your torso back to center. Feet are still crossed. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Find your balance in your feet. Inhale, lift all the way up. Hands come up. And then you're gonna grab to your left wrist and pull into a side body stretch. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. And then you can uncross your feet. So just normal forward fold here. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bend your knees as much as you need to, hands to the ground, and walk your way back out to downward dog. Press into your fingers. And then go ahead, drop your knees so that you're back in table. And then you can sit on your feet. So options, you can sit on your block, okay, like this. You can curl your toes flat. That's a pretty big ankle stretch. Or you can curl your toes like this. And if you need a break because your feet and ankle are really tight, just lift your hips up to here. We're gonna cactus our arms. Inhale, look up, shoulder blades together, squeeze them. And then exhale, you're gonna squeeze your elbows together, pinkies together, arch your back like you're doing cat. And then inhale, cactus your arms, puff up your chest like you're doing cow. And then squeeze together, cat. One more. Arch your back, look up if you can, squeeze shoulder blades together, and then elbows together in front of you. Keep that 90-degree angle, sides of your pinkies together, arch your back, tuck your chin. You can release, arms up to the sky, and clasp your hands together behind your back. So starting with rolling your shoulder blades back and down. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, puff up through your chest, look up if you can, or just keep your gaze forward. And then if this is enough of a stretch, stay here, or try and intend your fingertips far away from your back. Release that. Inhale, reach up. And then grab onto your left wrist with your right hand. Pull yourself over to the side just like you did when you were standing up. Side stretch. Come back to center. And then go the other way. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, you can go hands to the ground. And then just sit your hips back, child's pose. Take a few deep breaths here. Just gonna check to make sure sound is okay. Let me know if there's any issues with it. Awesome. Okay, pull yourself back up to table. Curl your toes under, press back, downward dog. And then look in between your thumbs. And then just step your feet forwards so that you're in a forward fold, but this time at the front of your mat or front of your space. Inhale, lift up halfway, slide your shoulder blades back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Look up, reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. So we're going to keep adding on to this flow that we have. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. This is where the change is. Exhale, hands to the ground, bend your knees as much as you need to. Step back into a high plank. Squeeze your butt, squeeze your legs. Separate your shoulder blades. We're gonna lower slowly for 3, 2, 1, bellies to the ground. Untuck your toes, squeeze your butt. You're gonna float your hands, float your chest. Inhale, lift up. Keep the back of your neck long. Exhale, lower. Again, inhale, back bend, float your hands, float your chest. Lower. Keep pressing your feet into the mat. Last one, inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Tuck your toes. And we're gonna press back to downward dog. You can either do it through high plank or with your knees bent, but hips come up and back, downward dog. Take a second here, pedal out your legs, push into the mat with your fingers, and then look in between your thumbs. Step your feet forwards, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, hands to your heart. Again, but we're gonna go a little bit faster. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, hands to the ground, step back, high plank. We're gonna lower for 3, 2, 1. Untuck your toes, squeeze your butt, inhale, flip hands. Exhale, lower. Tuck your toes, press up and back, downward dog. Inhale here. Exhale here. And then look forward, step to the front, forward fold. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Reach up, look up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Nice work. Okay, adding on again, we're doing something same, but adding on. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, hands to the ground, step back, high plank. Lower to the ground for 3, 2, 1. Untuck your toes. Inhale, float. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale here. Exhale. Keeping a generous bend into your left leg. Lift your right leg up as high as you can. Don't worry, we're not staying here. And then step it forwards in between your thumbs. So you're in a lunge. And go ahead, drop your back knee, that's your left knee. And then come on up. So if you need to, this is where you could put a cushion underneath your knee. Also totally up to you whether you want to curl your toes under or have them flat. Both good. So inhale, hands come up. Make sure your shoulders are nice and far away from your ears. And just make sure your lunge is a little shorter maybe than you're used to. Like it's not quite like you're canoeing. Bring your hips right on top of your back knee. And then maybe shorten your stance a little bit, just for balance. Cactus your arms. Inhale, just like we did when we were sitting down. Puff up your chest, squeeze your elbows back, squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then exhale, squeeze your elbows together, squeeze your pinkies together, arch through your lower back and your upper back. Tuck your chin. Inhale, puff up through your chest, look up like cow spine. Exhale, cat spine. Trying to drop your tailbone as you do this. Last one. Cactus your arms. Inhale. Squeeze your elbows. Exhale. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands behind your back, clasp your fingers together. Start by rolling your shoulders back, shoulder blades together. Drop your fingers low. Then go ahead, sink your hips as low as you can. Don't worry too much about your front knee coming over your toes, that's fine. And then the last thing you add, chin comes up, and then fingertips come away from your bum. Feel a big stretch across the front of your chest, maybe down into your biceps. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Hands up. And then back off your lunge a little bit again so that your hips are on your back knee. Grab onto your left wrist with your right hand. And then side body stretch towards the right, staying out on the left side. Squeeze your left glute, your left butt muscle, so that your hips aren't tipping forwards. Release, hands come to the sky. And then you have options here. We're moving into half split. So you can either sweep your hands back, sweep your hips back, stay high. This is a good option if you're super tight. And then you're moving back and forth from lunge to straightening out your front leg, hips back, half split. Okay, feeling a stretch into your right hamstring. If you have a little bit more room in your hamstring, you can go hands to the ground and send your hips back from there, okay? Or you can use a block to bring the ground closer to you, whatever works. But things you're focusing on is when you lunge forward, your hips come nice and low. And when you lunge back, you're squaring up your hips. Okay, so pulling your right hip back, pushing your left hip forwards. We're gonna move through it a few times. So go at your own pace, switching between lunge and straight leg. On this next one, when you come into your half split, we're gonna stay there, so hold it. Make sure that your right toes are flexing up towards the ceiling or towards your face. And then just double check that you're squaring off those hips. So pull your right hip back, press your left hip forwards. Deep stretch, and your right hamstring will hold here. It should feel uncomfortable, but not overly painful. So just like anything, if it's worth doing, makes you better, it's probably not easy. And then lunge forwards. Okay, come on out of that half split. Plant your hands down on either side of your foot. Fire up through your back leg lifts. And then step your right foot back to meet your left. You're in high plank. We're gonna lower to the ground for 3, 2, 1. Untuck your toes. Inhale, float your hands, float your chest. Exhale, lower. Press back, downward dog. Other side. Inhale, left leg comes up. Exhale, step between your thumbs. Drop your right knee. Hands come up to the sky. Check your stance. Okay, make sure your hips are on top of your knee. Maybe you shorten your stance a little bit from what you would usually do for a lunge. And then cactus your arms. Inhale, puff your chest up, slight back bend. Maybe hips come forwards, look up. And exhale, elbows together. Squeeze, arch your back, send your hips back. Open up, cactus your arms, shoulder blades together, neck relaxed. And then exhale, squeeze in front of you. Last one, inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze. Activating through your right glute. Relax that. Come up to the sky, sink your hips a bit. And then interlace your hands behind your back and try and find whichever feels uncomfortable. Okay, whichever pointer finger goes forward that you didn't do last time. Shoulder blades together, roll shoulders back, sink your hips, and then look up if you can, or just keep your gaze forwards. Send your fingers to the ground, and then send them back towards your back foot, opening up through your chest. One more breath here. And then hands to the sky. Back off your lunge so that your hips are on top of your knee. Grab your right wrist and lean over towards the left. Right side body stretch. And maybe see if you can take this a little bit of a back bend rather than folding forwards over your front knee. And then inhale, arms reach up. We're going into our half splits however you want to do it. So you can keep your hands up and moving. Send your hips back like that. Or you can have hands to the ground. And we're moving through it a few times where you lunge and then you send your hips back. And find an active hamstring stretch here. And if you do have your hands on the ground, it's not a huge deal if your back is bending a little bit. We don't have to be really strict about flat back, but just be aware, is that stretch coming from your hamstring? Is it coming from your low back? Is it coming from your upper back? One more, lunge forwards. And we're gonna hold our half split here. Whatever position works for you. Maybe you're on a block. Maybe your hands are by your side or on your hips. And then square off your hips. Make sure that you're pulling hip back, right hip forwards. One more here. Make it a little bit uncomfortable for yourself. And then lunge forwards. Hands to the ground. Fire up through your back leg, your back knee lifts. And then step your left foot back to meet your right. We're gonna lower for 3, 2, 1. Untuck your toes, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Press back, downward dog. One breath here, inhale. Exhale. And then look in between your hands and step in front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, lower. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Nice work. Okay, we're doing something similar, but we're switching up our lunge. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the ground, step back, high plank. Lower for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, float. Exhale, lower. Press up and back, downward dog. Right leg comes to the, and then look at your thumbs and step it forward back into a lunge. And then lower your left knee down. Hands come up. Right, you can make your stance a little bit longer than last time, and then sink your hips nice and low. Check and make sure that your front knee, your right knee, is intending towards your right pinky toe. You should be able to see at least your right big toe, maybe even a few more. And hips are as low and as forward as they can go. One more breath here. And then back off your lunge a little bit. You're gonna close your hips and twist towards your right leg. And then your hand comes forward, right hand comes back. Inhale, hands come up, square your hips. Exhale, close your hips, arms reach. Inhale, hands come up, square your hips. Exhale, close your hips and lunge them forwards, twisting through your torso towards the right. And then you're gonna reach up to the sky with your left hand. Right hand comes to your back thigh. And use that either just for balance, or you can use it to help you twist further. Reaching your left hand to the sky. One more breath here. And then you can drop your left hand to the ground. Plant it nice and solidly. right hand to the sky. So we're in a twist. Now you have options. You can stay here. You can walk your right foot wider and come to the outside edge of your right foot and play with opening that hip. You can also use the strength of your hamstring to draw your back foot in towards your butt and maybe grab onto it. Options, whatever you need to do. Again, take what you need and leave everything else. One more breath here. And then if you have your foot, release it back down. Both hands come to the mat. Fire up through your back leg, and we're going to step to high plank. Lower for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, back bend. Float your hands, float your chest. Exhale, lower. Press up and back, downward dog. Now you know what's coming, other side. Inhale, left leg comes up. Exhale, step it forwards. Drop your back knee. Come on up, low lunge. You have to lengthen your stance, but you definitely want it a little longer than last time. And then just go ahead and sit your hips forwards and down. Check to see where your knee is tracking. Make sure it's not covering up your big toe. And if you want, you can go ahead and add a little bit of a back bend. Look up. Just keep your shoulders nice and far away from your ears. Right here. And then right hand comes to the ground, left hand comes to the sky, twist. And same as last time, you have options. You can walk your right foot out, or sorry, excuse me, your left foot, your front foot, come onto the outside edge of that foot and work through a hip opener stretch. You can reach back and potentially grab back heel, potentially using that as a lever to help yourself twist. Release your back heel if you have it. Plant your left foot. And then we're still twisted and we're gonna come up into our twisted lunge. Close your hips. And then square your hips. And then close. Hands come wide. Square your hips. And then close your hips. Reach with your hands. Drop your left hand to your right thigh. And then lift up through your right hand, looking for a stretch on your right side. From your knee through your hip, up through your shoulder fingers. And then right hand comes to the ground. Left hand comes to the ground. Fire up through your back leg. Step back, high plank. Lower to the ground. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, float your hands, float your chest. Exhale. Curl your toes, press up, downward dog. And then drop your knees, go ahead into child's pose. If you need some water, now would be the time. Just gonna check in with the video to make sure we're all good. We're almost there. We have one more flow until we come into the easy step. Slow your breath in your child's pose. Take a second. See if you have a little bit more mobility to settle your hips down a little bit closer towards your heels. More breath. And then pull your forwards, curl your toes, Come on up, downward dog. Inhale, right leg comes up. Exhale, look at your thumbs, step your right leg forwards so that you're in a lunge. And before we come up, just check your stance. You're gonna drop your back heel so that your back foot is parallel to the back of your mat. Your feet are perpendicular to each other. Hips are open. And then come on up for warrior two. So arms are reaching towards the sides, okay? Squeeze your butt and drop your tailbone so that you're not looking forwards for your lower back. And then just like your knee, it should be tracking towards not your big toe. All your other toes are fine. Exhale, lunge down. Inhale, reach up, straighten your front leg. Exhale, lunge, see if you get lower. We're not holding it. Inhale. Exhale, lunge. Reach up. Lunge. And then we're going to come into a side angle. So your right elbow comes to your right knee. And then you're going to reach over and across with your left hand. So straight line from your left ankle to your left fingertips. Lunge down into that front leg. One more breath here. Come on up, warrior two. And then just pivot on your right heel so that all those point the same direction towards the long edge of your mat. Hands on your hips. Inhale, look up. Exhale, forward fold. So we're in wide-legged forward fold. If you need to adjust yourself so you can see the video, totally fine. I'll take a second here. Maybe you need to adjust. I always feel like I need to adjust a little bit wider than what I was in for warrior two. Inhale, lift up, flat back. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up, flat back. You're gonna try and keep your fingertips or your hand on the ground with your flat back. So maybe that doesn't happen. It bends a little bit, that's fine. But maybe you have a block and you bring your hand to that block right underneath your face. Left hand is gonna come to the block of the floor. Right hand reaches up into a twist. And you can go ahead and bend your left knee to deepen that twist. And then right comes down and we're switching. Left hand comes up. Again, go ahead, bend your right knee to deepen your twist. One more on each side. Left hand comes down. Right hand comes up. Reach through the line first. And then you can bend that left knee to deepen your twist. Looking up at your right hand. And then switch last time. Right hand comes down. Left hand comes up. Go bend into that right leg for a bit more space in your twist. Look up at the ceiling or up at your hand. And both hands come down. Get rid of your block if you're using one. You're gonna crawl your hands towards the top of your mat, so towards your right foot, and you're gonna pivot on your toes so that you come back into a lunge. Okay, so you're facing the front. And then just go ahead and step your left foot forwards, forward fold at the top of your mat. If anyone's confused, we'll just wait a second and forward fold. Meet us here. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, hands to the ground, step back, high plank. Look for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, float your chest, float your hands, squeeze your butt. Exhale, lower. Press back, downward dog. Last side flow. Inhale, left leg comes up. Exhale, step it forwards in between your thumbs. Remember, check your stance. We're going to drop our back heel. So your feet are perpendicular to each other. Hips open. And then come up, warrior two on the side. Sink into your front knee, lunge down. And then inhale, straighten your front leg, hands to the sky. Lunge a little lower. And come on back up. Lunge down again. Deep stretch into the inside of your left leg. Come on back up. Last one, lower into your lunge. Fingertips reach to the side. And then you're going to go left elbow, left knee. Right hand sweeps up and forwards into side angle. One more breath here. Come on back up, warrior two. And then pivot on your left foot. So we're in forward, or we're in wide leg again. Hands on your hips, inhale, look up. Exhale, wide leg forward fold. So we're just chilling here for a second. Maybe you want to lunge into one leg or the other. Maybe you want to walk your hands further back, deepen your stretch. Maybe you need to adjust your feet wider or closer. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And then we're going to crawl our hands towards your left foot, so towards the front of your mat. Pivot on your feet so that you come back into a lunge facing the front of your space. And then step your right foot forwards to meet your left. We're in forward fold at the front of our mat. Now this next one, again, you have options, so bear with me while I explain them. The more mobility you have, the closer your feet can be together, okay? You could go a little wider, but hopefully closer than you were for wide leg forward fold. And if you want that block to bring the ground closer, you can. Bend your knees a little bit, as much as you need to get a hand on the ground. If there's no way that's happening, you can grab your right calf, okay? Left hand is going to circle up to the sky. Straighten your leg, and you can bend through your right leg. Circle it back down, switch sides. Left hand to the ground. Straighten your right leg. Right hand to the sky. Again, we're switching sides. Circle back down. Right hand to the ground with block. Big twist. One more. Left hand comes down, right hand comes up. Leg straightens, left leg bends. Look up at your hand. Circle both hands to the ground. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, hand to your heart. All right, come to sitting down on your mat. Almost there. All the hard stuff is done. Sit cross-legged if you can. Maybe sit on a block if you can't quite get a nice flat back. You're going to put your hands on your knees, and you're going to use them as levers to go through some seated cat-cows. So starting with cow, use the strength of your biceps, pull your chest forward, puff up through your chest, and then look up. And then cat, arching through your back. You can lean back, maybe off your butt bones, separate your shoulder blades, tuck your chin, and your hands on your knees are going to stop you from falling backwards. And then pull forwards, cow. And relax back, cat. One more, pull forwards. And relax back. All right, come to neutral spine. Reach up. And then you're gonna bring your right fingertips to the ground. Crawl them away from you, maybe come to right elbow. And side body stretch. Keep your left butt down on the ground. Inhale, come up. Exhale, other side. Inhale up. This time we're twisting towards the right. Right hand comes down on the ground behind you. Left hand comes to your right knee. Use your hands to help you twist and look behind you. Inhale, come up. Exhale, other side. Left hand comes behind you. Right hand comes to your left knee. Twist. And come back to center. And you can come to lying down on the floor, on your mat. Start with your legs long, and then hug your left knee into your chest and just start to draw some circles with it. Doesn't matter which direction, because we're gonna do both. So your right leg can be long. If it's super uncomfortable to have your right leg long, you can bring it sole of your foot to the ground. And then switch directions with your left knee, drawing circles the other way. And then start to pull your left knee towards your left shoulder. So you're just opening up through your hip a little bit. And then start to pull it the other way, start to pull it to your right shoulder. So you're not fully tipping over, we're not twisting, you're just stretching your hip in a different direction. And then we'll switch. Right leg bends, knee comes into your chest, left leg goes long, or you can bend it if you want to. Start to draw some circles. And then draw some circles the other way. And then pull your right knee towards your right shoulder, just opening that hip a little bit. And then go the other way, pull it across your body diagonally. But again, your hips are staying on the ground. You're not rolling. You're just intending your right knee towards your left shoulder. And then you can go ahead and release that leg down to the ground. Find a comfortable position lying down, maybe palms facing up, arms by your sides. I like to sort of wiggle my shoulder blades closer together and lengthen the back of my neck. Close your eyes. And bring your right hand to your belly and your left hand to your heart or your rib cage. And just start to notice your breath. Just observe it. Where's it going? Is it fast? Is it slow? Is it big? Is it small? And just try to intend your breath to your low belly. See if you can feel your belly filling up underneath your hand that's on your belly. And it's just passing through your rib cage, passing through your throat. But it's really filling up in your low belly. And then start to slow that breath down. So maybe you can keep your hands there if you want, or they can come by your side if you don't feel like you need the tactile feedback. Lengthening your inhales, maybe a count of 4, maybe a count of 6. pausing at the top of your inhale, and then lengthening your exhales. Maybe a count of 4, maybe a count of 6. And then pausing at the bottom. Keep deepening your breath, consciously trying to relax. And then just let go of any controls that you're putting on your breath. So breathe spontaneously, just become a passive observer of some of the changes that might have happened in your body when you slowed your breath down. Consciously trying to relax the space between your eyebrows, back of your neck, jaw. And slowly start to wake yourself up. Start to roll your wrists, roll your ankles. Gently let your head fall from side to side. Maybe touch your thumb to the tip of each one of your fingers. I like to crack my knuckles. Some people think that's gross, but that's fine. Whatever you need to start to wake yourself up. And then take your hands over your head and stretch like it's the first thing you're doing in the morning. Big full body stretch. Reaching your toes away from your fingertips. And then relax. And then carefully make your way back up to seated. However is comfy for you. Thank you so much for doing yoga with me today, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you feel like you got something out of it, whatever it was you needed today. Feel free to send me messages with feedback, ideas. I think we're doing this next week as well. So things that you want to stretch, things that you want to try. This is a great platform for doing online stuff, but I can't see you. So if you struggled with something, or if there's something you really want to do again next time, please let me know and we can incorporate it for sure. Yeah, thank you so much. I hope everyone has a great rest of your weekend.